Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we got a fun one for you today. I've got an image up here with a bit of writing on it. When I hover over it, it's going to fade out into another image with a different amount of writing on there. And when I take my mouse off, it's going to come back like that. Really nice little feature to have on your site, really easy to do. So let's get started. I'm going to enable the Visual Builder. Once enabled, let's roll down to where we want to go. Okay, well I've got a row here, the green tab. Inside the row I've got two columns. I've got my existing image in one column. Let's start on our second column here. I'm going to hit the little button to add a new module. I'm going to use an image module, funnily enough. There we go, right there. Just choose whatever image you want to pop in there. Let's pop that one in there. Down below you can choose whether you want it to open in a lightbox or whether you actually want it to link to somewhere. If you want it to link to somewhere, you can put a link in there. Always best practice if you're linking to your own site, keep it in the same window. If you're linking to somebody else's site, open it in a new tab. That way your site's going to stay open. I'm going to open mine in a lightbox. Great. So we've got that image in there. Let's now choose the image that we want to fade to. Now, if you've seen any other my image to image fades or my image to text fades, you'll know that image that it's going to fade to is going to reside in the column that this is sitting in. So to get to that column, we'll go back into the row, the green tab. Column 1 on the left, column 2 on the right, which is the one we're working on today. I'm going to go in there. Under content, you'll always find background. You've got color, gradient, image, video, background pattern or background mask, and you can put several of these together and make combinations if you want to. I'm just going to use a straight image for this today. I'm going to go in there, add background image. Let's pop that one in perhaps. And of course you won't be able to see it because it's behind our main image there. So we can save this now and create the actual fade effect to fade from one image to the other. So I'm going to go into my image, back into the dark tab for the module. Over to design, if we roll down, you'll find filters. And what we want to do is fade this one out so that the other one sort of fades in behind it. But we want to do that when they put their mouse on there. So let's roll down here, we'll find opacity. And if I move that slider down, you'll see it makes it disappear. If I move it back up, it comes back. Now, common to all Divi modules, if you hover over the dark writing within a module, you'll see some little icons appear. If there's a little arrow there, we can set a desktop state when the mouse is on it. Well, I want to see this image. Sorry, desktop state when the mouse is not on it. I want to see this image. When they put their mouse on it, I want that one to fade out and the new image to come in. So I'm going to click on the little arrow for hover right there. I'm going to drag it all the way down. So we've got that other image right there. Great, well that's fantastic. Put it back on desktop mode. But I want a little caption over the top here. And then when it fades out, I want another little caption. And you see the little number that's come up there, that crazy looking number? That's actually the name of the image. If I take my mouse off of there, it disappears. If you don't want that to come up, you can give it a specific name if you do want it to come up, but I just don't want to see that at all. So to get rid of that, while we're in the image, I'm going to go over to advanced, down to attributes, and there's that crazy number or name. Like I say, you can change it to something pertinent. I'm just going to simply delete mine so it doesn't pop up every time we roll over it. Great. Okay, well we set our fade when we put our mouse over there for this to fade out and fade back in. The time it takes to go from one to the other with Divi is 300 milliseconds, which is pretty quick. I'm going to slow that down for a bit of drama. If we go over to our advanced, still in the image now, we can roll on down. We can go to transitions. There's a default 300. I'm going to make mine about 3/4 of a second, 750. You can type in a value or you can slide up and down. You can also increment with the little arrows there. Don't want any delay. I want it to start happening as soon as they put their mouse on it. And the speed curve I like to use for my hover effects is ease in, ease out. They're all subtly different. Some will work better than others in certain situations, but for my hover effects, I'm going to use that one today. Great. Okay, well, let's put our text over this one. To do that, still in the advanced, I'm going to roll up the top here. I'm going to go into custom CSS, and in the after panel right here, let's write what we want to put in there. I'm going to say content, because we want to put some content in a colon, and open and close some inverted commas there. Or we can tell it what we actually want it to say. Let's say my robot is having trouble. Whatever it is you want to put yours, just capitalize the H on the having there. Now we'll put a semicolon so we can add another line of text there. You might have noticed it's actually showing it at the bottom there. It's kind of difficult to see, but there it is on the bottom there. So I'm going to position it. I'm going to say position. I want it to be absolute. I want it to stay where I put it. And I'll put this code down below for anybody that just wants to copy and paste. I'm going to have it 50% down from the top. So I'm going to say top 50%. And I'm going to have it 50% over from the left so it's in the middle. So I'll say left 50%. And it's right here now. I don't know if you can see that, but it's so the left-hand corner of it is right in the middle. Let's actually give it a color so we can see it. And we'll bring it right exactly in the middle. So I'll say color. I'm going to make mine white so we can see it. There it is. You can see that a bit better now. What's happening there is the top left-hand corner is right in the middle of our image here. We want the whole thing to be in the middle. So what I've got to do is move it back by half of its width and move it up by half of its height. To do that, I'm going to use transform translate. Translate. I'll put some round brackets right on the end with no gap. I'm just going to say negative 50%. That should move both of them. But there we go. We've got it in the middle now. Okay. Let's put a semicolon there so we can add a new line. I want to make that text a bit bigger. So let's say font size. You can use font family and change the actual font that you're using here if you want to one of the other Divi ones. So I'm going to say font size for this. We're just going to make it bigger today. Let's make it say 25 pixels. 25 px. Okay, it's gone on top of each other a bit. Let's give it a bit more space. So I'm going to say width. I'm going to say 100%. So it can take up as much as it needs there. It's over on the left-hand side there. So let's say text align. Center. That's better. It's back in the middle there. And to make it stand out a bit, let's give it a little bit of text shadow. So we'll say text shadow. Let's maybe give it 2 pixels by 2 pixels by 2 pixels. Let's make it dark. Let's make it black. 0, 0, 0. Yeah, that stands out pretty well right there. Obviously, you can position this where you want. If you want it down the bottom, say top 80%. It'll push it further down, or 90% even. I'm happy for mine to be in the middle though. 90% right at the bottom there. Works pretty well. Anyway, I'll leave this in the middle for the time being. And let's do the same thing now to the image that's behind it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all of this. Control C to copy. I'm going to save our image right here. I'm going to go back into my row. Green tab for the row. I'm going to go back into this column, the second one right here. I'm going to go to advanced, down to the custom CSS, down to the after of this one. I'm simply going to paste that in there. And I'm going to change the text up here, or obviously put in whatever you want to put in yours. Try to spell it right. But we don't want to see both of these at once. So to make that go away, we need to change the Z index of it. So I'm going to go down the bottom here. I'm going to put a semicolon on. I'm going to say Z-index. I'm going to give it a Z index of 2. Now I'm going to go back into my image module. Let's save this, save the row settings, back into the image module. And I give this a higher Z index. The column writing will disappear. To do that, in the image, over to Advanced, go down to Position, and there you'll find Z index. We gave that 2, so if I give this whole module 4 or anything higher than 2, it'll make that disappear. Let's give it 4, and as you can see, that's disappeared there. Great. So we set our fade, we've set our column text and background, so this should work now. Let's save the changes. Save the page changes, and exit the Visual Builder. Roll on down to where we're working. There's our image, my robot's having trouble. We'll roll over it, 3/4 of a second. We got the other image and it says that's okay though. And when we take it back off, it's going to roll back out. And we got a light box for our initial image, this one right here. If we click on it, it'll pop that image out into a light box for us. So that's a great little feature to have on your site. How to morph one little image into another image and have the text change also. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you've got any questions, pop them below the video. I'll do my best to answer them for you or make a demo video. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and WebDesignTechTips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.